And I love New Mexico living. New Mexico is where I love to be.
Hello and welcome everyone, I'm Monica Wiki.
Yeah, and I'm Logan Rader, and this is New Mexico Living. Got another packed show for you today. Are we ever not going to be packed?
Hey, that's what we like. We like
It
to
is
bring
what we
you
like.
guys all of the really good content every day.
Yes, which means less hot takes for us, more hot takes by our guests, which we're actually cool with.
Yeah, that's totally fine. They
we al-
usually have really good things to
And
say.
we also have a really interesting story to start off the show
Yeah.
here today, so let's get right into it. A New Mexican ranch that is home to various historical artifacts has new owners.
cool?
What? The 110,000 acre, now I think you think it's a Tarkey Ranch.
I would guess like Albuquerque, a Tarkey, but I don't know because it's not in Albuquerque.
I'm going to
so-
call it a Tarkey Ranch.
Okay.
It was owned by the Yates family for 45 years. They listed the property in March for $68 million, big ones.
Wow.
And it has now sold for an undisclosed amount to an unnamed buyer. What a purchase. Now, the property is filled with Native American artifacts, petroglyphs, caves, dwellings, and even pottery shards. Now, the man representing the sellers says the new owners intend to keep the ranch operating as it always has. Now, the buyer is set to go public later this year.
I'm curious.
What in the world could you imagine buying a 110,000 acre ranch?
I know, right? Like I think about the things that are important to me, little like trinkets I've collected over the years that have significance to me.
Your
And it's like,
trinkets.
oh, I have this little whatever. This
Look
is
at
like,
that.
I have a 110,000 acre ranch that has tons of history just sitting
Wow.
on it and probably still so much more yet to be discovered
mean-
or unearthed.
Right.
So I think that that's really cool.
Caves, dwellings,
Yeah.
pottery shards.
Could you imagine you're just walking
Oh,
along
my.
your ranch and you come across like a piece of pottery from thousands of years ago?
That fascinates me. I'm telling you right now. Cave art too, like just
Mm-hmm.
getting into those caves and seeing just like everything about that is just wild to me. The centuries and centuries old history
Yeah.
that remains on this ranch, just incredible. You could have quite
part of
the
our
field
history,
trip out
yeah.
there.
That would be cool.
Give me a tent. I'm gonna go out there and I'm gonna survive on the 110,000 acre ranch for a week. Do you think I could do it?
Yeah.
Give me 3 things that I get to have with me whenever I go.
You would get water, purified water.
Okay.
You would get a tent,
Okay, need that. One more thing.
and you would get, that's it. That's all you get.
What am I gonna eat?
You're on the land. Go forage for it.
Oh my! Well, what am I gonna eat? I get what? Then I need to have a knife.
Okay, you can have a knife.
No, I want a gun.
Okay.
BB gun though.
Well, then that would also mean that you would need ammunition, and then that would technically count as 4 things. So
Gonna take the Bowie knife instead.
You get a
then.
knife.
And I will survive.
I would not. I would not survive, and it would be fine.
I've literally always wondered if I could. Like, give me 3 things. How long could I survive out in the wilderness?
I just can't help but think of that episode of The Office where Michael is convinced he can go and live out in the wilderness and Dwight's with him, but Michael thinks that Dwight has left him, so he's being all dramatic.
He
And
goes to eat the poisonous mushrooms.
yeah, exactly. So that is how I envision myself
Yeah.
if I were to ever attempt to live off the land.
Wow. We're just trying to get you to go camping for a weekend.
No.
She's all, no, I don't want to smell like the great outdoors.
It has a smell. It has a smell.
Yeah, a good one. A fresh one.
You smell really good after spending 12 hours outside?
All the time.
No,
Yeah.
negative.
I smell like sap and good vibes.
Negative.
Okay. Cool stuff right there.
Yes.
All right, moving on. Is there a holiday that centers around food more than Thanksgiving?
I'm going to say no.
Yeah, absolutely not. And on top of giving thanks for all of life's blessings, right? Preparing a memorable feast is definitely a must on this holiday.
Yes, so we know that turkey is the main entree, but the sides, they also have to shine on this day, which means you have to bring your A game when whipping up the perfect meal.
Absolutely. That's where Chef Jeff Jackson from Smith, he's here today to show us how to make one killer coleslaw. That's right. Normally, a lot of people just avoid the coleslaw.
I like coleslaw.
Not you do.
Yeah.
I often see mounds of coleslaw literally just sitting on the table.
I would never think of coleslaw as like a Thanksgiving side dish, but just in general, I like
Not
coleslaw.
many people gravitate towards the coleslaw. However, this recipe from Chef Jeff Jackson, this might change your mind. It's going to have people going back for seconds, thirds, fourths, and fifths.
Oh my goodness.
I'm telling you, take a look.
Hello everybody, I'm Chef Jeff from Smith's. The holidays are coming up, and while I love all of the different foods that you get to eat during the holidays, a lot of them, mashed potatoes, gravy, stuffing, all those sorts of things kind of read a little bit heavy. While delicious, sometimes you need to offset that on your Thanksgiving or holiday table with something light and fresh, and that's what I'm going to offer you today is a recipe called Thanksgiving Slaw. Using ingredients that sometimes you see in the holidays, which makes it even more fun. But it's light, refreshing, delicious, and it goes well on your Thanksgiving or holiday table. Let's get right to it. So slaw, obviously this is a cabbage-based salad that I'm going to show you how to make. And first of all, you could buy the pre-shredded cabbage, or you could get a head of cabbage, which is a cheaper option, and let me show you how I shred it at least. So I take it, and then I'm going to cut in half to expose the inside, and then I'm going to cut those halves into quarters. Now, you'll notice on the bottom there's a stem right here. We want to remove that, and then once we remove that, then the rest of the cabbage is good for shredding. So just take your knife and just go through it, just making these really thin ribbons just like this, and that's what you're looking for. So I'll go ahead and cut the rest of this and show you what we do next. Okay, once our cabbage is shredded, next I'm going to add some shredded carrots to that. This is some chopped parsley, and then some first crunch, and then for the holiday feel, we've got some sliced almonds. They're honey roasted almonds with dried cranberries, which I got out of this bag here. I found this in my local produce section at my Smith's. So a couple of bags of that gives us that crunch and color. And then now all we need to do is make the dressing. So I'll clean this up and show you how to do that. Okay, last I need to make the dressing, which consists of Dijon mustard. To make it sweet, I've got some maple syrup. This is some minced red onion, vinegar. Oh, that I made a mess with, sorry about that. So that's cider vinegar. And then I have spices, cinnamon, nutmeg, salt, and pepper. Now I'm gonna give these a whisk. Once they're mixed together, then I'm gonna drizzle in the oil, and then that will be the finishings of my dressing. So I'll get that oil mixed in, then show you how to put this together. Okay, last we mix and toss. Now, like any salad such as this, the longer it has to kind of sit before you serve it, the better. So you could make this a couple hours ahead of time, and then it would be fantastic because all those flavors get to kind of marry together and be delicious. So we'll give this a mix and get it all over my cutting board. See, I love making messes. That's what holiday cooking is all about, at least for me anyway, is making that big old mess everywhere. But you'll serve this on your holiday dinner table, and it will be just a great addition to all the heavy, delicious foods that you have. So this is our holiday slaw. You can find all the ingredients at your local Smith's. Thanks for watching. Thanks for shopping. See you next time.
Wow, you gonna go to the slaw and get that now?
I like coleslaw. Are you not a coleslaw person, like, at all?
Not really, but that one entices me a little
I
bit.
thought it looked good.
Yeah.
All right, to see that entire recipe again, you can head over to GaryKiwi.com and click on the New Mexico Living tab.
All right, let's go check out that green room. Heard it's packed. Whoa!
My goodness.
It's a party in the green room,
That's
baby.
what we like to see.
Slim Chickens is the proud kitchen sponsor for New Mexico Living.
Making sure you're covered with the right health insurance for you. Be Well is the health insurance marketplace for New Mexico. They're a nonprofit and offer free services to all New Mexicans. And with the open enrollment period underway, they want to help you navigate the process. So joining me today to break down how they can best serve New Mexicans is the Chief Experience Officer with Be Well, Alex Sanchez. Alex, welcome.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you for being here today. A very important conversation we're going to have. Open enrollment is underway. Making sure you have that right coverage for you is key. Talk to me about Be Well, who you guys are.
Sure. So Be Well is New Mexico's official health place market. So this is where you come if you don't have insurance through your employer, Medicaid, or Medicare. It's also the only place where you can qualify for subsidies to reduce your cost. So this is really important, right? Because healthcare costs a lot,
Yeah, it
right?
does, yeah.
And so right now at Be Well, more than 50% of our enrollees pay $10 or less a month for health insurance.
See, and I think that's amazing. I was going to ask you about those monthly costs because, yeah, having health insurance can add up quickly. Not having health insurance and then having something happen medically or with your health can be even more, right? So in terms of monthly costs, what are your members looking at on the month-to-month basis?
Sure. So there's three important factors when it comes to what health insurance is going to cost you. It's your zip code, your tax hold filing income, and your tax hold size.
Wow.
So how many people live with you and what's the amount of money you make? Depending on those things, you're going to be eligible for certain subsidies. Now, there's a lot in the national news, right?
Sure.
About the loss of healthcare subsidies. Here in New Mexico, we are so lucky to have a state government and elected officials who've committed to affordable and reliable health insurance. So what this means is while you're hearing in other states people's premiums, your monthly amount, are jumping 2-3 times the amount, that's not happening here. You're going to get New Mexico premium assistance to supplant any loss in federal. So you could still be looking at a plan, you know, that have all different factors. Maybe you don't go to the doctor very often. You're okay with a high deductible. You could get a plan that's going to cost you less, right? And these are carriers you know and trust, right? They're Molina, United, Presbyterian, Blue Cross Blue Shield. We have dental plans. So what we like to say is most people are going to think independent health insurance is just going to be too expensive, right? Come, let us help you for free. There's somebody who can talk to you about your healthcare needs and your budget, and let's find a plan for you.
I love that. That's a perfect segue to my next question, because I wanted to ask what it's like working with Be Well. When we call and pick up the phone, we make an appointment with you from start to finish. What is it like working with Be Well to get that coverage?
Well, you know, that's my whole goal, right? That's my job. Like, what is it like working for us? So we want you to have a seamless experience. We want you to be able to come in and talk to somebody. There are a lot of terms in health insurance. Copay, coinsurance, deductible, what is this going to cost me, out-of-pocket max? Let us do the work for you.
Thank goodness.
Right? Exactly. Let us do the work for you. So we can help you fill out the application, find a plan that works, and enroll. So door to door, you could be in and out within an hour. Now we have 900 certified assisters throughout the state. So there's an option for everybody, no matter if you're in rural New Mexico, you're here in the metro, you're in different places. You can also find us online. So we really want to meet you where you want to meet us. We have virtual enrollment events that happen every week. You can go to BeWellNM.com, schedule a free appointment with an assister in your area. You can call 833-862-3935, or you're always welcome to come see us in office. I love to see people in the office, and I will give you some swag if you come in. So.
We love swag. We love to walk away with a little souvenir and an experience that wasn't daunting, right? Signing up for healthcare can be very expensive and scary, but like you said, there's a plan for everyone. These are reputable carriers, and you guys are going to help us from start to finish. Most importantly, when do we need to enroll by so we don't miss it?
So I love to say we want you to get your New Year's Eve kiss and your insurance card.
Well, there we go.
So you have to be enrolled by December 31st for that to happen, for coverage to start January 1st. You technically have until January 15th, but let's be honest, we are busy ladies. Ain't nobody got time for that, right? So we want you to come in, get enrolled, make sure you got health insurance for 2026.
Absolutely, Alex. We're in the middle of the holidays. I want to focus on that. I don't want to worry about my health insurance.
Exactly.
So we'll get together with Be Well. We'll have them take care of us and get us on the right coverage, the right plan for us. Where do we go online? One more time, that website.
BeWellNM.com, or you can call us 833-862-3935.
Fantastic. We'll put all of that on our website as well. Alex, thank you for being here, for breaking all that down, and for letting us know that there is a plan for everyone.
Thank you.
Of course. Guys, for more information on everything we just talked about, head over to krqe.com. Click on that New Mexico Living tab. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Goodwill of New Mexico is the proud coffee mug sponsor for New Mexico Living.
Well, we got some major news here for education in our state. New Mexico Highlands University was recently designated as an R3 research university, becoming one of only 4 public research universities in the state of New Mexico. So what exactly does this mean? Let's find out. We are joined by Dr. Ian Williamson, Associate Vice President for Academic Affairs, Grants, and Contracts, as well as the Graduate Dean at New Mexico Highlands University. We're going to be breaking down this accomplishment and what it means for students and faculty and high school students alike. Doctor, welcome. Thank you for joining us.
It's great to be here.
This is pretty big time stuff. Let's dive into it. You guys were just designated as an R3 research designation here. What does this mean for New Mexico Highlands University?
All right, so this is a Carnegie classification. It comes from the American Council on Education, and they revamped their criteria. So they developed a way that you could be designated beyond just a comprehensive university, and they have special designations, and one of them is the R3 designation, or an active research designation, which means that there are 3 types of designations. There's the R1, R2, and R3. New Mexico State and UNM are R1s, and now in New Mexico Tech is an active research designation, an R3, and now we are as well.
How were you guys able to accomplish this?
So really it comes down to a lot of hard work over 6 to 8 years. The faculty, the faculty and the staff have gotten together and identified research opportunities that made sense for us. We are an HSI, as you know, Hispanic Serving Institution, and there are certain grants and contracts that we can apply for with that designation, And we went out to the NSF, we went to the NIH, and we sought those grants. We applied for several multi-million-dollar grants, and we were awarded 3 or 4 big ones and several others that are more in the sort of $100,000 to $500,000 range. And so it takes a lot of work.
Yeah.
I mean, you have to get letters from partner institutions. You have to read over the various opportunities of award. And when you go through all of that, you have to target exactly what they're asking for.
Yeah.
Whether it's the National Institute of Health or the National Science Foundation. And then when you win those grants, you can apply those monies and use them for research.
Make
and
big
development.
time moves here, right?
Yeah.
Takes a lot of hard work, and you got to be legit too. I mean, that's a factor in and of itself. What does this designation mean for faculty, for students, maybe for New Mexico high school students as well?
Yeah, so I mean, there's a number of things that this means. So we'll start with faculty and the students that currently are at Highlands University, and then we can talk about the high school students. So faculty can do the kind of research they want to do. And usually what that means is they get advanced equipment to do chemistry research, to do geology research, or exercise and sports science or psychology. They all have a wish list. So they all have software that may cost $20,000 to $40,000. They may even have a piece of equipment. In geology, for instance, we got one that was worth about $400,000. You can't get that from the institution itself. The federal government's going to have to pay for some of that stuff.
Absolutely.
And in order to do it, you have to win those grants. And so you win the grants, you get the kind of research that you can then use either in the lab or in the field. And you can bring your students along. So
there we go.
So A, you get to do the research you want to do. B, you can bring your students along and collaborate with them, and then they get those research experiences. It really hits that kind of intermediate layer of between sort of a 4-year school, 2 years and 4-year schools where a lot of the learning is in the classroom. And then you have your R1 designation where they have like the fanciest equipment, they have like the $1 million equipment. It's right in between so that the students can get that intermediate experience to then take it and move with it to advance their own careers. So a big part of that intermediate area of having that research designation is that the students are able to get the advanced undergrad and master's level experiences that may convert to PhDs later, may convert to, and so it gives them a leg up in the pipeline, in the workforce pipeline in research, whether they're going to Los Alamos later or whether they may even go to get a PhD at UNM or NMSU or out of state even.
Absolutely leveling up the research tenfold here. This is amazing. And it's also changing the higher education landscape here in New Mexico. Doc, we covered a lot of stuff today. Where can we go to find out more about New Mexico Highlands?
Okay, well, you can definitely go onto the website at www.nmhu.edu.
There we go.
And we're trying to be a destination place. We're looking we're looking to elevate our research game, and we're looking to be a place where students can think about not just doing classroom work, but doing things like going to the Czech Republic to study volcanology and documenting that research. So there's like interdisciplinary research. So there's a lot more opportunity than used to exist at Highlands
Just amazing stuff right here. One of 4 public universities here. You got UNM, New Mexico State, New Mexico Tech, and now New Mexico Highlands University. Congratulations to you guys on that. Like we said, elevating, elevating, elevating. Doctor, thank you so much for coming in today.
Thanks so much.
All right, guys, for more information on this entire interview, head over to KRTV.com, click on that New Mexico Living tab. Don't go anywhere. New Mexico Living rolls on right after the break.
Albuquerque Florist is the proud set flowers sponsor for New Mexico Living.
Well, if you're looking for something to really get you into the holiday spirit, look no further than the New Mexico Philharmonic. They are rolling into the holiday season with a variety of festive performances scheduled that are sure to be the perfect experience this time of year for friends and family to enjoy together. We are joined by the president and CEO of the New Mexico Philharmonic, Marian Tano, breaking down the list of shows that we are in store for. Marian, welcome.
Hey, thank you so much for having me.
Always a pleasure to have you here. The Philharmonic is always busy. You always have something going on.
Always.
So we're going to break it down today. Talk with us about your holiday shows you have
We're
coming up.
ready to kick the season and the traditions of the season. And the first set of concerts are two Messiah concerts at the First Presbyterian Church downtown, December 12th and 13th. This is something we've been doing every year, and we'd like to have our music director do an interpretation that's an original format, meaning has the instrumentation that this piece was first performed. So we're very excited about that.
Yeah.
It's usually very well attended, so we hope people get their tickets soon rather than last minute when it will be sold out.
Yeah, absolutely. Get your
Yeah.
tickets now. You also have Home Alone. You're doing like
We
this
do.
concert experience of Home Alone. I've got to hear all about this.
So Home Alone, it's a very funny movie, as you know,
Yes.
and the music score, it's composed by John Williams, so it's fantastic music.
Yeah.
And we're excited to perform that for the first time. It's a special, so the concert's on a Wednesday night on the 17th. I'm very excited both for the Home Alone and for the Messiah, because we're collaborating with the newly formed New Mexico Philharmonic Chorus,
Oh,
who's
wow.
conducted by somebody named Sherry Garrity, who's a wonderful, wonderful colleague to work with. So this will be their first appearances with the New Mexico Philharmonic, so we're really excited about that. And Home Alone, it's a unique experience. It's a one night only, and it's a good way to start your holiday with a good laugh.
That
right?
is the perfect way to kick off the holiday with a movie we all know and love. But then with this edition of the New Mexico Philharmonic Chorus, absolutely beautiful, bringing it all together. You guys are actually taking the New Mexico Philharmonic experience around town to the community. Talk to me about how you're doing it, just making it more accessible.
Yes. Well, first of all, like the last concert we have this year, it's the Holiday Pops. So, for example, we're collaborating with 3 high school choirs.
Okay.
With Bosque, with Moriarty, and the Visu Cleveland from Rio Rancho, and also with the Manzano Day School, and we have the Albuquerque Youth Symphony play
Wow.
side by side.
All right.
So speak of a community, that's
Yes.
gonna that's what we've been doing in the last years, and we love that because it is a community event. And after that, we have this series it's called the Power Concerts.
Okay.
Which is about a 1 hour long show where the music director comes and tells the story of the instruments. It's a perfect introduction for children and youth to the concert. So it's a family event. It's only an hour. It's casual. The musicians dress in street clothes, and it's very, very fun. That'll be our second concert will be happening in February 8th for
Okay.
that. We also have the coffee concerts, which are in the
Yeah.
mornings, and those
Okay.
are really fun and very popular with the retiree community, as well as the homeschooled children and all that, and families.
That's very cool. I've never
Yeah.
thought about that aspect of it. But yeah, just bringing this incredible music that you're known for to everybody, right? Making it accessible.
Yeah.
That's what it's all about. Music should
Yeah.
be for everyone. It's going to be 2026 before we know it. So what are you guys
Yes.
looking forward to in the new
Well,
year?
the first concert of the new year, I'm really excited about it. We're featuring our brilliant 4 horn players.
Okay.
And they're going to perform at the National Hispanic Cultural Center in our afternoon. It's a Sunday afternoon on the 11th of January, if I'm not mistaken. And they will perform this rarely performed piece by Robert Schumann, the Concertstück. So it's a spectacular piece, and it's difficult, and it's really, I'm really excited to feature our own virtuosos from the orchestra on this. So that's going to be one of them. And then just a week later, we'll perform Rachmaninoff Symphonic Dances for the first time, which is a great piece. And we have a pianist coming from Canada to perform Prokofiev Concerto for Piano. So going forward down the road in February, we have the Music of the Nights, which is the 3 nights that we know from England, and
Sure.
we'll have very popular tunes, so that I'm excited about that. So we have many, many, many shows. It's
My goodness, I am so impressed you can remember all of that off the top of your head. But we're starting with Messiah, we're going into Home Alone, we're going into the new year with something to look forward to from the New Mexico Philharmonic. Marian,
Yes.
where do we go online?
You go to nmfield.org.
Okay.
That's the best way to get the tickets, to avoid scalpers and all that, and just get a good value for your ticket.
There you go,
and
right
show.
there. Avoid those scalpers, get those tickets, be a part of these incredible performances. Marion, thank you for being here today.
Thank you so much.
Of course, guys. For more information on everything we just talked about, please head over to krqe.com and click on the New Mexico Living tab. We'll be right back.
Hi everyone, it's Sarah at Nusenda Credit Union, and I just want to give a huge heartfelt thank you to Nusenda employees and their families for showing up big time for this year's toy drive. Toys are being donated from Las Cruces and El Paso all the way up to Taos, New Mexico. This year we're giving toys to Children's Miracle Network of El Paso, Jardín de los Niños in Las Cruces, and UNM Children's Hospital here in the Albuquerque metro area. We are tremendously grateful for the way that our employees showed up this year for our toy drive. We have more than 1,000 toys that are being donated, and they're going to go to kids and families in need who are facing some of the hardest times that they'll face over the holiday season.
The last thing that parents want to think about when they're in the hospital with their children is Christmas presents. So having Christmas presents available for them when their child is in critical condition is a huge weight off their shoulders. Huge shout out to Nusenda members and Nusenda team members for participating in the Children's Hospital Toy Drive this year. UNM Children's Hospital is so grateful for your continued support, and we couldn't do it without you. Thank you for helping us spread joy.
We know that, like every year, it is really challenging to give extra and to do more, and every year our employees amaze us with their generosity and their willingness to give back and support the communities where they live, work, and play. Thanks everybody for participating again this year. We can't wait to see what we do in 2025.
Well, like you just heard, the season of giving is upon us, folks. That's why Nusenda Credit Union and UNMH are teaming up again for their annual toy drive to spread holiday joy to kids all across New Mexico. We are joined by Nikki Bunch from Nusenda Credit Union and Dr. Anna Duran from UNMH, getting all the details on this toy drive and how we can take part. Ladies, welcome. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you.
Before we dive into the toy drive, Nikki, I want to talk to you about Nusenda. You guys are constantly giving back to the community. Why is that such an important part of your mission?
Sure. So it's really just baked into Nusenda's DNA. And I would say for the employees specifically, many of us grew up in the communities we serve. We're raising our families, and we really just want to find a way to make our areas better and bring some joy.
Yeah, absolutely. You guys do that on a day in, day out basis. You've supported this toy drive here with UNMH for the UNM Children's Hospital for so many years. Can you talk to me why you guys have wanted to come back and do this year in and year out?
Yeah, so the toy drive is really special because you can bring one toy and it makes a big difference.
Yeah, huge difference.
And the impact is just wonderful to see. For many years, it was just employee-based. Last year, we actually opened it up to members, and the generosity that we've seen from both employees and members has been completely overwhelming and just heartwarming, and we're just really looking forward to it every year.
Yeah, absolutely. It makes such an impact, a humongous impact. Dr. Duran, UNM Children's Hospital, you guys do such an amazing work. Can you talk to me about the work you guys are doing in the community?
I agree. We do amazing work every single day.
Yes.
And this isn't just, children in Albuquerque. This expands across New Mexico, and we get some of the sickest children, being the only level 1 trauma center, having a dedicated children's hospital for the state of New Mexico with all of the subspecialists that are needed. I walk through the halls and I'm so proud of our teams, and as Nikki was mentioning, seeing smiles throughout our hospital, it really allows our children to just take a moment and remember that they're a child and they're not sick in the hospital.
Absolutely, bringing joy to them during what is a very stressful time for them, right? This is an annual toy drive. You guys do this, every single year. Let's talk about it. How does the toy drive work? Break that down for us.
Sure. So we welcome toys in any of our branch locations. So whatever is closest to you, you can find at nusenda.org. You can drop off a new unwrapped toy. And it's going to be running from November 20th through December 10th.
Okay.
So we'll also have some opportunities to partner with other folks if you follow us on social media, and we can donate lots of toys throughout the time frame.
So we're buying the brand new toy and we just drop it off at any Nusenda location?
Yes.
Is there a way we can maybe do a monetary donation if we don't drop off the toy, or is it just you have to get the toy and you got to go drop it off? Is that how that works?
There are some monetary donations, but the request is for the toys to be donated.
The request is for you guys to go out there, find a really cool toy that you guys think a child would love, and then go to that Nusenda location, drop it off. Going to make such a huge impact. Doctor, I want to talk about that impact because you're around these children. What does it mean to them? They're in the hospital. They're dealing with something so incredibly difficult. What does it mean to them when they see that brand new present coming to them? It's for them. They get to open it, this brand new toy. How much of an impact really is it making on them?
You know, it's hard to measure the success of a smile. And, you know, it's not just the child it impacts the parents, the other siblings that are there. It is an extremely stressful time, whether your child is in the newborn ICU. And, you know, we have the opportunity as staff to deliver that toy, that, you know, stuffed animal, whatever it is, to that family. And the best part is when you actually put it in the hands of a child.
Yes.
They are so excited. And, you know, that toy itself is joy, it's comfort, it's, you know, it allows us just to, you know, be part of that child's world, which is smiles and the excitement of a new toy.
Letting them experience the joy of the holidays as a child, and every child should. Let's get the details on the toy drive. When is it? How long is it running again?
It is going to start November 20th through December 10th.
November 20th through December 10th. You can go buy those toys, guys. Drop them off at any New Senda location. Like we said, it's going to make a humongous impact in these kids' lives. Guys, thank you so much for coming today, and thank you for the work you're doing.
Thank you.
Absolutely. All right, guys, for more information on this entire interview, head over to KRQE.com. Click on that New Mexico Living tab. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
The County Line is the proud loft sponsor for New Mexico Living.
Immortalizing local musicians whose work has stood the test of time. The New Mexico Music Hall of Fame does that by recognizing those who have made significant contributions to our state's musical culture, and there are a handful of artists who are set to be inducted this year. So we are joined by the president of the New Mexico Music Hall of Fame, Mark Padilla, along with two 2025 inductees, Glenn Coster and Angel Espinoza, talking more about this year's award show and what attendees can expect. Welcome to all of you. Thank you for being here today.
Thank you.
First and foremost, we have to start this interview off by saying congratulations to the two of you. The work that you have done is now going to be amongst incredible company and remembered by so many more to come. So a huge congratulations to you guys.
Thank you.
Mark, I do want to start off by asking just a little bit about the New Mexico Music Hall of Fame, your history.
The history has been started in 2003. It's to honor the musicians that have done great in the state. We have always had great musicians in New Mexico. Now they get to get honored.
And I think that that's a beautiful thing, right? When we think about New Mexico's culture, there's food, there's history, there's music, right? And so having a space where they can be honored for years and years and years to come is a fantastic thing. I want to turn to you guys now, kind of direct this interview to you. Angel, starting with you, can you tell me a little bit about your journey with music and where it's taken you?
Absolutely. I started off singing, you know, in the kitchen, around the kitchen table. My grandfather taught me my first song, which was La Cucaracha.
Love it, I love it.
And I sang it to my first grade class. I used to be the entertainer of the class. And then, of course, you know, sang in school choir, talent shows, all of that. Studied music at Highlands and UNM as a vocal major. And then I was the lead vocalist to a group, Latin group called Los Copacabana. They did a lot of like trio and then pop music from like the 70s during that era.
So cool.
Got to travel a bit. Then traveled around the country with my own group, ended up in Las Vegas, Nevada, on the stages in the lounges back when lounge acts were like a cool thing.
Yeah.
And so that was a lot of fun, open for people like Tiny Tim, Tiptoe Through the Tulips. I don't know if you even know who that is. You know, he was a great guy, by the way. And then came back to New Mexico, and then I started recording, writing songs about my culture in New Mexico, like a song called When Grandma Was a Girl, 'cause she used to play violin when she was a young girl. And she used to play with her brother at local dances before they had amplification and all that. They'd actually go out in horse and carts back then. And so started writing songs like that in my Adobe Casita, and then started recording Spanish music. Then went to Texas and did an album for a record company, Tejano, called Joey Records. Wow. So did a Tejano music. This was after the Selena era.
Okay.
You know, she had just passed away, and Tejano was getting really big.
Sure, yeah.
So did that, came back to New Mexico and, you know, performed at the New Mexico State Fair, did a show. I was the opening act for Vicky Carr, Flaco Jimenez one year, and, you know, a lot of great experiences along the way. Got to meet Juan Gabriel, who is considered like the Elvis Presley of Mexico. And he was a wonderful man, and we became like really good friends. He had a ranch near Espanola where I lived.
That's great.
And around that time, my son was born, who also loved music as a child, and I think for being around the band, he actually became a member of the band at a very young age. We recognized he had talent for the drums.
Oh, cool.
And then the guitar and singing. He eventually became a mariachi. And so I continued, doing music to this day. I still perform. Recently performed at the Santa Fe Opera for the
beautiful.
Mariachi Extravaganza.
That's amazing, yeah.
And my son is a performer out in Los Angeles. He's a music arranger, a music artist. His name is Santiago Alberto, and he's also the assistant musical director for the Mariachi Rams, which is the first official mariachi of an NFL team, in the United States.
So a very storied career here for you. Glenn, talk to me about your journey.
I grew up in Oregon, and there was music in my house. My older brother and my dad were both playing, and so I started playing saxophone young at like age 6. Wow. And then went to music school in Texas after high school, and then was on the road for a few years, and relocated to Chicago, and then moved here to New Mexico in 1995, 30 years ago, to take the teaching position at UNM.
Okay. So music just both in your lives from a very early age. What does it mean, and we're winding down on time here, but what does it mean to be inducted into the New Mexico Music Hall of Fame?
It is a huge honor. It is something, when you start off young, you have all these dreams of all these things that you want to do, but you don't realize how quickly time goes by, because now I look back and say, like, I can't believe all these years have passed and all these stories are like way in the past, 70s, 80s, 90s, 2000s. And then to be recognized by this wonderful organization, like, wow, I've actually been doing this my whole life, and it's been quite a few number of years when you add it up. And it is such an honor, to know that there is an organization where you will be inducted, where people will see your name someday on a plaque and listen to your music and say, this person once did this.
People will learn about you for years to come. What does it mean for you?
Well, first of all, it's just a great honor, and I've had the opportunity over the years to be part of induction ceremonies for other folks, and so it's an honor to get to join them and to benefit from all the hard work that Mark Padilla and the Hall of Fame does. And one of my favorite things about living here in Albuquerque and New Mexico is just how open and friendly the music community is.
Yeah.
And so getting to have a music community that recognizes its own
Absolutely.
in a Hall of Fame kind of thing is really cool.
You've supported others. It's now your turn to be the center of attention. Congratulations to the both of you. Mark, really quick, a website.
nmmhof.org.
Fantastic. Guys, go look up that website. All the inductees will be there. You'll be here next week. We'll chat with you again. Don't go anywhere, guys. We'll be right back.